You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, howdy doody, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. Let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hey, bud.
Hey,
bud.
Yes, Kevin and I are in St. Louis, and when we're in St. Louis, we record in the same room because there's no other option.
Eyes up here, okay? Eyes up here.
So, yes, you get to hear Kevin and I banter and laugh with each other, and Kyle gets to sit in his room as he usually do.
Go to your room.
So, folks, lots to talk about this episode. Some OTA stuff going on. We've got a Craig experience lined up and a new segment.
Yeah.
Which we recorded just prior to this episode, and it's a doozy.
Stick around.
So, stick around.
Yeah, you won't want to miss it.
For the inaugural segment. And as always, we have an Ask Boltfam. So let's waste no time. Let's start off here at the top. Daniel Popper tweeting out, Justin Herberts said, the plan is for him to work back into 7-on-7 drills this week during OTAs. Would be his first team drills of the offseason. Herbert has been rehabbing from labrum surgery he underwent in January on his non-throwing shoulder. Great news. Good to hear.
Great news. You kind of, it felt like this was going to happen. They're just being like cautious, obviously cautious.
Yes.
And I'm fine with that. And clearly, the wide receivers are getting all the reps they need from the Duggan and the stick
and the
stick and the Duggan.
Let's go.
Thank God. Like when he was throwing, he looked great. He was throwing awesome stuff.
I was shocked that he was out there doing like individual throwing drills and stuff. I thought that was awesome, way ahead of schedule stuff. So
yeah,
right.
I don't really know why it's different going from throwing the football in individual drills to 7-on-7. It's not like he's getting hit. It's not live, so it's cool to hear. It'll be fun to see the highlights when they throw them up there.
Right.
And you're coming to the end of OTAs. This is the last week of OTAs. Next week they have the little tiny 2-day mandatory mini camp.
We'll see.
And then you got a big old break until training camp. So it'll be fun to see at least the clips that they show us of Justin Herbert throwing the football, because Quentin Johnston has been making some catches. Like they tossed up the highlights of week 2 of OTAs. The guy is, I'm excited, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little lobs in the end zone, the little fades that they were running in the red zone drill. And then one, he shook Asante Samuel pretty bad on a little out and in route, which was cool. So it'll be fun to see Justin throwing to him.
Yeah,
definitely will.
I think maybe why they didn't have Justin do the competitive stuff is they're worried about his competitiveness and he might go a little too hard. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the Justin Herbert way. Maybe that's why I held him back a little bit.
Possibility.
It's a long season.
Yeah. And then Lindsay Theory tweeted out, it's been 100% for a while. This is from Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater on the left bicep tear that sidelined him last season.
So frustrating because we knew he was coming back if we beat the Jaguars.
That next game. Yeah.
He was coming back, dude. He's like, it's been 100% since the playoff game. Like I was ready to rock and roll. They were just holding me off for a seat for 1 week. It's always good to hear, but it's just
if he would have just suited up when Jamari went down, if he just had his pads on, just get out there, do a quarter, just
kinda
get
like
in
a
there.
Third quarterback thing where they're just suited up, but they're not counted. You should have that for every position.
I agree.
Every position should have the one extra guy in waiting.
We're coming out with 90 players every game.
Yeah, they're all back.
Dude, that'd be sick. The sideline is completely full of players.
Let's go.
I like
Sign
it.
me up.
You just sprinkle in giants that look scary and intimidating on the other sideline, even if they're not going to play.
Yeah, and everybody walks off for the coin toss, and literally a whole 100 yards of men just standing there face to face. This
is no longer football. This is like war. This is armies. Yeah,
100%.
There you go. All right. Well, speaking of Rashawn Slater, he was interviewed by reporters earlier this week and had a few quotes from him here. Slater, on missing most of the 2022 season with a torn bicep and coming back, said, "I feel like the biggest thing I learned from that was just how easily this could be taken away from you. You only get so much time as it is in the NFL. If you get something like that, that's already taking a year off of a relatively short career, I really just feel a lot of urgency to get where I want to be.
That's
Right?
awesome.
So
Fire
do
in the
we.
belly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
and he was one of those guys you never really worried about that. Like he came out motivated, and remember that Chase Young, his first game as an NFL player.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, "Oh my god, how is he going to handle?" And they put Chase Young on the other side because he couldn't do shit against Rashawn.
I haven't heard Chase Young's name since then.
I think actually I heard that.
Oh, Chase Young.
He was demoralized.
I think I heard recently that they weren't going to be picking up his 5th-year option.
It's Rashawn Slater. Look what happened.
They didn't pick it up.
Slater.
Rashawn.
It embarrassed him on his first game. What you going to do?
Put him in a
That
2-year
sucks.
timeout. He hasn't done anything since.
Yeah. First game out, can't do shit. That's what happens.
Oh,
You're in
man.
timeout now.
And then Slater, on having a healthy offseason, said it's been great. A lot of time rehabbing, training. It's been very smooth. I would say it's been 100% for a while now. At this point, it's just the more reps that I get, the more confident I will feel, but it feels great.
Come on.
So, yeah.
It's crazy because he's still so young. It's like these off seasons for him are such developmental like necessities. Like he's getting strong. He's getting stronger every year. 100%. He's not peaked in his strength yet. He's only like, how old is he? 22, 23, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's like he's not peaked in strength. So every healthy offseason that he's had, even if we didn't get him in the playoffs, but he went into the offseason fully healthy, being able to get stronger and faster,
right?
And better with all the technique. Like offseason is just as important as during the season for these guys in their development. So that's huge.
Right. Yeah, continuing. I think it was still working with Duke Manyweather and still, getting all of the skills as good as they could be, and bringing a couple of other Chargers.
Trey down there last year, and now he's a guy, and
he went with him again, and then he took Sorrell.
Yeah,
he went down with him too.
So awesome quote there. And then on the potential of the offensive line this season, said, "I'm so excited to be back. I feel like we've all. It's a young group, but now." We had last year, especially with Zion and Jamari. We're really coming into year 2, and I feel like we're really hitting our stride. I feel like the camaraderie is very high. I just feel like the potential is insane with us. It's a really cool thing to be a part of.
I like that.
The camaraderie of the offensive line.
And potential is insane.
Yeah.
I like hearing the camaraderie stuff because that's not you're not required to say that kind of stuff. Like the potential is high. Yeah, like that's a kind of cookie cutter answer. But like talking about how like adding in the fact that they're all actually getting along and no one's in a contract year, so there's no like drama or weirdness or holdouts or this is just these are the dudes. Let's get after it together. So I think that's exciting. I think this is the best offensive line we've had in a really, really long time.
100%.
Fingers crossed. And then Kellen Moore was also interviewed and happened to talk about Rashawn Slater, saying he's done an awesome job. Obviously, we're not able to do as much of the physical component from an O-line perspective, but his commanding presence is pretty clear and evident. As soon as you walk out on the field with the first group, having a guy that you feel comfortable with and can manage a certain side of the football, it allows you to maybe draw attention to the other aspects of the protection game plan.
You could put him on an island. He can do it all by himself is basically.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I heard it in his interview too. He talked about Kellen Moore, Rashawn Slater did, about how he's kind of simplified protection plans and simplified the running game so they can just be athletes. It's like when you don't have the guys, when you're a small market team that's just kind of trying to save money and scrunch together a team, like you have to be more intricate so you can keep up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that. Like we have studs. Make it easy and let them just go be studs, like, and get after people. I don't have to think through 400 things. I'm just better than you. And so we're going to keep it simple. I'm just going to beat you up. And it feels like that's a team that we have, but it's not the coaching perspective that we had before.
Mm.
Like hearing Rashawn Slater, who's a Northwestern guy, like obviously really smart, can pick up stuff and figure it out. If he's saying, yeah, this is simplified and things are easier, that's saying a lot.
Totally. Yeah. And also you heard, Slayer Keenan Allen, sorry. You heard him talking about, we got a couple guys that can go deep. I think we're going to go deep this year.
We got a guy that can throw deep and a couple guys that can go deep. So I think
we're probably going to go deep this year.
Yeah.
Just like, it seems like there's kind of a glowing excitement for Kellen Moore from, our Pro Bowlers, from our guys that have been with the team for a while, especially in Keenan. So it's so exciting what this offense can be. And hopefully it's some simple stuff, because we always talked about that, specific types of blocking, especially run blocking, why we might not have been that successful and why some games we were better. Zone blocking versus the other, all the other stuff. And hopefully it just gets simplified in each game. We can just do what we want on the ground. That's the goal.
When a comment like that gets made that he's simplified the game plan, does that worry you from a defensive side, as far as like, oh well, we know their game plan because it's so simple? Is that ever like a concern, or do you think that there's ways to get around that?
Yeah, I mean, if you simplify it to the point of you have 5 plays, yeah, that's an issue. But
of course,
that's not the case. It's like we've seen stuff all offseason of people doing film breakdown. The Chargers, one of the guys at the Chargers did it, and it was like he keeps it simple, but that allows him behind the scenes to make the adjustments. For the players, it's simple, but not for the play calling. So It's like you just simplify what they have to do, but there's more on you to do. So it's like you don't just call a play and then when they get to the line, they have to figure it out. It's like you have to call the right play, which puts more on the OC to do. But if that's your job, you're paid to make the right call. So make the right call. Don't just say, hey, you guys go up there, you better figure it out or else you're going to be screwed. And that's I'm not saying that's the way it was, but when you simplify stuff, it's just like, I'm going to make the right call, go execute it, beat the guy up in front of you, and we're going to have success. And so it just puts the ball in the athlete's hand instead of the coach like trying to just defer everything we have to have the perfect play call for every situation. So I'm going to give you a call, but it could be 5 different things when you line up. Your blocking scheme could change 15 times. And so I don't know. I'm not worried about that. It just it puts a little more on Kellen's shoulders to call the right play, but there's nothing in his tenure in the NFL that says he can't do that.
Right.
100%.
Well, we want to give you the right play, and that's going over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. We've got a lot of great content going up over there. Every week we put at least something up that is sure to make you laugh. And if you don't want to go to patreon.com/ChargerChat, that's totally fine. Go on over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the member section and ask questions in Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right, folks, it is time for the next segment. Now, this is
set this up. What do we do?
So we'll get into, I think, the origin story of this segment in the segment, but we've decided to dub the episode 3 Dougs, 1 Dog. Now, we've got 2 Dougs and 1 Dog right now. That means that there's a third Doug that needs to make an appearance. So there's
a lot of Duggins out there. It could be Max. It could be
one
Max? Of my 3 sons, one of Kevin's 4 sons, or
OG.
Let's see what's behind door number 1. That's right, folks. It's time for 3 Dougs, 1 Dog.
Woof,
so we were how did this come to you, Kevin?
It's one of those, just in a shower and you're just really getting ready for the day. And it just popped in the old Nagarino.
Just thinking about your dad.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what's my dad up to? Oh yeah. 3 Duggins, 1 Dog, 3 Dougs, 1 Dog.
3 Doug, 1 Dog.
3 Doug, 1 Dog. That's how my brain sounds. That's how my brain sounds.
He must have a leak in his shower.
Something needs to be fixed. Like, my dad needs to get over here and fix it.
There's a leak somewhere, that's for sure. But so we're trying to think, okay, what could 3 Dougs, 1 Dog be? And I think one of the best parts of this show is both Kevin and Kyle arguing with each other.
Yeah.
But if they just argue with each other, there's nobody to come in and save the day. And I think that steps in.
We all learn from someone.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Our argumentative skills come from one place.
Yeah. And he's down there.
And he's now a part of the show.
Yeah. Senior DNA.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So we decided to bring Papa Doug in and so let's just see what happens here. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll start it off with the first, what might seem more likely. So defensive sacks. Last year, Joey Bosa had an understandably low season in sacks, getting only 2.5 in 5 games. Okay. But in his sophomore season, he got a season high 12.5. Okay. Mac was able to get 8 sacks without Bosa's help. Mac's sophomore season was also his season high with 15 sacks. Assuming both Bosa and Mac stay healthy, who is more likely to beat their season high record? Is it Bosa, Mac, or neither one?
But Bosa's career high is 12.5.
12.5.
Mac's
15.
career high
15.
was holy smokes. I mean, I have to go Bosa with 12.5. 15 sacks is pretty insane.
Yeah.
You start piling up sacks like that, they're gonna make adjustments and come after you. To say Bosa's got to come get me.
You see, I've already lost it because I thought you asked a totally different question. So that's why I'm already screwed.
Come back in, Dad.
I thought you said which would be better than last year.
Well,
Their
no, who's more likely to beat their
Career high.
season high? Yeah, record.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, because I was going, I think if Bosa doesn't get more than 2, we should be cutting him loose anyway.
It's a lot of money for 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
a
is a
lot of
lot of
money, me, which I don't mind their spending, by the way. But
No.
It honestly,
Okay.
it feels difficult for either guy to break a career high when they're on the field together. Because
Yeah.
go ahead, Kev.
Thank you. That was a nice way of letting me.
No,
cut you off. I
both you shut
appreciate
up
it.
for just a minute.
No, Dad, you shut up,
No,
Dad.
it's Kevin's turn. It's Kevin's
And
turn.
I will not go to my room. You cannot tell me what to do because I am in a different state. So, but you look at what happened that first game against the Raiders. Who went off? It was Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both on the field. They were both getting at him. I don't know if that is just a product of that Raiders offensive line, but Mack was incredibly productive and had like a strip sack at the end.
I think he had 2 sacks that game, didn't he?
Yeah, 2. And then, the end. So I'm going to go Mac. I think Mac's going to have the bet. If they both
16
stay
sacks.
healthy.
Yeah, if they both stay healthy. I mean, granted, last season we were expecting to see some explosive.
Well, does he have to beat 15 sacks or does he just have to have
who
better?
is more likely to beat their season?
Oh, that's
or is it neither? Do you think neither one are going to beat
16. Let's go. We're going 17 sacks. Khalil Mack.
Kevin had a second to think about it, and he's like, "I'm not turning back on this. I'm doubling down.
I'm not double down on this shit."
I have one question, though.
Yes.
To me, it comes down to one position, and that's our D tackle up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he presses, then both guys are going to have a field day. It's going to be fun to watch that competition. If we have another one of our containment D tackles, neither one will get close.
We got our ginger Viking, Dad. Everything's going to work out perfectly
Scott
fine.
Matlock
I'm praying,
is coming
man.
in
Also,
6
did you guys see
rounds.
his golf swing today?
No.
They showed it at had their like annual golf
they had
tournament
it,
for the
yeah.
Chargers. Matlock can swing clubs a little bit.
Athlete.
He's an athlete. Yeah.
Hey, tell me this, guys. I think I saw Herbert swinging golf clubs out and about, and then his contract's not done. So all of a sudden now he didn't show up for the golf tournament because he just had surgery.
He was there. He was there. He's caddying.
Yeah,
He's a team player.
Yeah.
Just like he's going to sign a
That's
team-friendly contract, Dad.
That's right. Short little shot across the bow right there. With
Yeah, you don't be taking.
I can
Don't,
be
don't come
careful,
on here in the
Dad.
first
No,
segment
yeah,
taking
no
shots
show
at
you're
Justin
on,
Herbert.
What
I'm not taking a
you
shot
on?
at Justin. I'm taking a
Kevin's
shot
about
at
to kick you out of this whole episode.
Yeah.
All right,
you
well-
know what? That's probably a pretty solid best argument you guys have had in a while.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Herbert, that's the next possibility. So while Herbert has had one season with over 5,000 yards and his completion percentage has been steadily increasing each year, he has yet to have a season where he's thrown for over 40 touchdowns. Also, Herbert had 0 rushing touchdowns last season, understandably so due to the injury, while previous years he's had 3 and 5 respectively. Assuming the wide receiver core and the O-line stays healthy, what is more likely next season? Herbert throwing for 50 or plus touchdowns or rushing for over 5?
50 touchdowns.
Wait,
Is it over?
Do you want to
count? Do we count his 50 like his rushing and throwing?
No.
Well, we're saying rushing because we're talking about like if he
I know.
Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston.
The 50 total
Passing.
touchdowns.
Passing.
Does that
50
include
passing
passing
touchdowns.
and his running?
No, just 50 passing.
We're taking some swings. So he's never gone over 40, but will he go over 50?
That's
Is
what
it
I'm
more
saying with
likely
this.
Over 50 or over 5 rushing?
Oh no, over 40, over 50 or over 40 or over 5, right?
Wrong.
No, he's never thrown for over 40, but he's gotten close. I think 38 he had in his sophomore year.
So is he going to have 11 more touchdowns or more than 5 rushing touchdowns?
Correct.
Well, all right.
Considering that we didn't see him rush last year.
Yeah, you go first, Dad.
You're testing my energy and excitement for the season, and I'm going to cut it way back and go, he'll run for at least 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
I like that.
That I know for sure. That I don't know.
No, I don't know what
with the offense, but he's going to run for that. He's going to run for more than 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Dak ever had much rushing touchdowns under Kellen.
Don't you dare.
Well, Dak Prescott.
So I'm just saying, you got to take that into consideration. I'm not comparing. I'm comparing Kellen to Kellen.
Sounds like you're getting picked on by the 3 Dougs is what it sounds like.
I don't know if we'll be doing
the dogs getting dug.
You be careful when you speak up in this segment.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give you information to help your decision making.
Hey man, Dak forgets what play down it is sometimes. You can't.
That's true.
Be careful.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that my hope is that he rushes for more than 5, because if he does that, that's going to answer all of my prayers that we're actually letting him run the ball. It's just that guy is so athletic. Getting him on the run, a lot of the times when he's rushing for touchdowns, it's because they're getting him out of the pocket. He's got the option to pass or run. So if we're doing that more often, I think the whole offense is going to be more efficient. And hopefully we have a running game. Like that was the Kellen Moore desire, to bring him in so that we could win games and just put people away with the running game, because Dallas had a great rushing attack. So if we're running the ball successfully, we don't need to throw for 50 touchdowns. So hopefully he's rolling out, we have a successful run game, and he runs for 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns.
The only thing I will say counter to that is when genuinely the few times we've seen Justin have good runs, he gets punched in the stomach right after he's done. So with that in mind, I'm going for over 50 touchdowns. He's going to be a slinging monster.
Yeah. I'm with you, Kevin. I think with the wide receiver core that we have,
50.
And if that offensive
6,000 yards, 50 touchdowns.
To huck it down the field with as pass heavy as Kellen Moore is.
I love it. I hope you're right. But honestly, you can tell who lives in California and kind of knows what's happening and lives in Missouri. And just influenced by that whole
fantasy land. Missouri's just
the White
fantasy
House crap.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, it feels nice out here. I'm living high over here.
Well, the vicious debating has not really gone the way I expected. So I'm hoping this third question really brings it on.
All right, spice it up, Wooldog.
Yeah.
All right. So what is more likely? While both the Duggan brothers have dabbled in the game of football, one has continued to coach while the other has gone to a life of movie making. Okay. Since Kevin's schooling has been referred to as camp, which brother would be more successful if they had to switch roles? Kevin as a football coach or Kyle as a director of photography?
I could definitely coach some shit. This is good. Dave,
like Dad,
you're
Dad
on first.
Start this off.
That is
Dad has to start
hey,
this
Willie, you got to get your lips off Kevin's butt on this.
Just imagine Kevin. Wait, take him right now. Put me on the movie set. Put Kevin at a game. Head coach or coordinator calling plays.
Personally, I'd probably be up in the booth.
He laughed at your scenario. He laughed at your scenario. Not
he would tell me. He would call the Jeff Ogden double reverse pass.
Hey, that's still coaching. That's still coaching.
It's not good coaching.
He didn't say, "Am I going to be a good coach?" But I'll be a better coach than you would be a cinematographer.
Oh no way, dude! You just hire the right people and you say, "Get at it, guys."
Same. I'll just get the right coordinators. Let's go.
No, you have to be the coordinator. You're not.
I do. I'm the coach. I hire the crew. Let's go. Set me up for success.
Let's just put it this way. God has blessed me with 2 sons in 2 separate fields. Neither the two shall
not
mix.
Answering. This is weak sauce, dude.
How dare you?
He's so badly wants to say I would do better than you.
No, he doesn't. You're just live next to him. You think he would, but he probably wouldn't.
Oh man, I would love to see Kevin coach today.
I'm laughing so hard because I can see Kyle going. Hey, move that jib down. Kick the lights out. Slow.
You can make shit up easy.
We need a cover 2 on that backlight. Can I get a cover 2 on that backlight?
Yeah.
Kyle, that doesn't exist.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Fake it till you make it. It works in every field.
Oh, you don't have that?
Then I can watch
then
Kev.
you're
I
off
can
the
watch
set.
Kev.
You're out of here.
He'd pick a great play. The quarterback could throw the ball perfectly. The receiver would drop it. And his coaching tip would be, you got to catch that damn thing, son.
That would
Yep.
be Kev, yeah.
Personally, I'd commit more to the
No,
run.
that's coaching.
2, 4, 1, 3. Those are the holes I like, and those are the holes I know. That's what their running back's going to hit all game long. No passing. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Power eye, baby. Power eye.
Get the fullback in there. Let's make
My
something
movie
happen.
set would be out there with flashlights and mirrors.
Kyle
and
invents a
smoke.
new way of making films with flashlights.
I'd have smoke machines and flashlights, and God
Hey,
knows what would happen.
you have to forget, he worked very closely with
That's
you
true.
in your first
I was
were
on a
my-
lot of your early stuff. I was everything. I was the food guy. I was everything.
While Adam's running down the golf course, Kyle's getting stabbed in the pool, man. It was perfect.
The mic.
Hell yeah.
oh,
Hell yeah.
oh, that hurt.
Oh, that was a good question. That's
was
good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Listen, I brought it on home. All right.
I
well,
like keeping it Chargers for a little bit.
Adam, I want to thank you because I may laugh about this for days. It's just going to come to
You're just gonna keep thinking about Kevin on the football field and me on the movie
And
set.
you on a set? Yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, I don't think we got a definitive answer, but and I don't know if we'll do it again, but hey, let us know
I
in the
think
comments.
I want to do this again. I'm where my
Let
stomach
us know in the
hurts.
comments if we should do 3 Dougs, 1 dog again. Papa Doug, and thank you for coming on
Thanks,
and
Pops.
giving us some good laughs.
No, hey, I'm not going to have no sit-ups for like 2 weeks. I'll be good. I'll think about this conversation.
Call this segment Core Strength. Get ready.
Core,
All
it
right.
is a core. I am. I'm cored up. All right, guys. I'm going to go watch the Padres try to get a victory finally.
Come
on,
fun. Love you, Dad.
Love you guys. Adam, you're my favorite.
Thank you. There it is. There it is.
Son of a.
Cop out.
Mission accomplished. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Kay loved you. Bye.
Kay loved you. Bye.
All right. Well, I'm still wiping the tears from my eyes. That was, I don't know if it went 100% according to plan.
Hey, it was the first time out of the gates, and I had a lot of fun.
we were
was fun.
laughing. And if I can make your dad laugh, then that's mission accomplished.
You almost killed him.
Well,
You didn't just make him laugh. You almost killed our
Yeah,
dad.
he
How
had
do you
some
feel
real
about
deep
that?
coughs there.
well, when you're the favorite, that's what happens. So,
Shut up.
so all right. Thank you, Papa Duggan, for coming on and giving us some real good belly laughs, myself especially. But it's time to go on to the next segment. You know him, you love him. It's the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Craig Experience.
hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Howdy do, CC gang. The biggest of salutes to the rest of the Boltfam. What is going on? She got Craig in Texas, and I'm back with another episode of the TCE. That's right, the Craig Experience. And we're gonna talk some off-season talk because what else is there to do? Let's roll. Yeah, I know. Early June, next to nothing going on. Free agency is pretty much at a dead stop. Well, unless you're the Buffalo Bills and you're signing Leonard Floyd. And man, that sucks because that just seemed like an ideal fit for the Chargers. Guy's got experience with the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams, so he understands Brandon Staley's scheme, had success in both, but alas, wasn't meant to be. I would argue both teams are in win now mode, but apparently the Bills made maybe the bigger push, so they got their guy. But would have been a really nice rotation to have Khalil, Joey, Thule, Floyd, Rumpf. Would have been really nice, you know? But it wasn't meant to be, so gotta move on. But that actually leads me to the central topic of my Craig experience today, and that is Mr. Brandon Staley. Because I think in the midst of everything that's happened in the offseason with the Eric Kendrick signing, all the Drew Tranquil stuff, the draft, and things that followed, Brandon kind of got lost in the shuffle. And what I'm curious to find out about what you folks think is, what are your feelings on Mr. Staley right now? It's kind of up in the air with me. I still have some belief there because you hear the guy talk the game, you know he understands it. Brilliant mind. It hasn't always materialized on the football field, but let's put some stuff into context. And when I was thinking about this before recording, it's like, hey, let's take a walk down memory lane, albeit a bit painful. I looked at some of the numbers, 2021 and last year. So in 21, Chargers were 29th in points allowed, 23rd in yards allowed, 17th in turnovers forced, 12th in passing yards allowed, and 30th in rushing yards allowed, and 28th in yards per carry allowed. So not great. And different things attributed to this. You had injuries, which is a Chargers thing. So you can only lean on that but so much because teams deal with injuries every year. Chargers seem to get the worst kinds at the worst times, and they have to deal with them for the longest periods of time, but I digress. Then you move into 22. Got 21st in points allowed, 20th in yards allowed, 12th in turnovers forced, 7th in passing yards allowed, 28th in rushing yards allowed, but 32nd in yards per carry allowed. So you actually saw improvement in essentially every area except for the yards per carry allowed. But some of those numbers are a little deceiving, particularly the 7th in passing yardage allowed. When you're giving up a league worst yards per carry average, teams are less inclined to toss the ball around the yard on you. And this is a passing league, so that's saying a lot. That's the truth. If teams wanted to keep the Chargers honest, they'd hit them with a few passes here and there. Sometimes they give up huge chunk plays because they were selling out for the run. But it wasn't that the passing defense was as great, even though they played some really good games. The one that sticks out in particular to me is the Miami Dolphins game. And sorry, Dolphins fans, it is what it is. You can feel how you want about Tua, but that was terrible. And they have this tendency to kind of forget that that game exists. They start talking about Tua as if he's this grand savior. And I'm not going to get into all of that because I like Tua. It's just the fans that drive me nuts. And, you know, whatever. We'll see what happens next year, even though they are pretty loaded now. Offensively, even more so, and on the defensive side of the ball. But we'll see how that goes. That game made me look at the team a little differently because I saw a guy who went in and game planned. He saw exactly what the strengths were, and he did his best to eliminate it. He made Tua pass the ball to areas of the field where he wasn't comfortable. And he forced him to have to hold on to the ball a little bit longer than he wanted because, let's be honest, Mr. Tagovailoa is not a guy that you want to sit back in the pocket on 5 to 7 step drops and try to wing the ball down the field 40 plus yards. It's just not how it works. You want to get the ball into your playmakers' hands and let them do all the work. But if y'all call that top tier quarterback, then whatever. I'm not going to sit here and argue with fools. From a distance, no one can tell who is who. So I don't do that. Anyway, enough about Dolphins fans. Back to Brandon Staley. You know what I think this year is contingent upon? The Kellen Moore experience. Because I will tell you what, there's an offensive coordinator who now resides in Denver, whose name I will never speak of again, who put the defense in some compromising positions. And yes, they did give up a ton of yards on the ground. But you want to know what made that worse? The Chargers spent a lot of time behind the sticks on early downs. First down calls. Just horrific last year. You all saw it. And we had an OC who was stuck in his ways, didn't make very many adjustments, and was just stubborn about playing the game and running the scheme that he knew well and wasn't going to deviate from it, no matter what. And because of that, not only did it affect Justin Herbert, led to some injuries, some other things, but again, didn't help your defense all that much because when you're not moving the ball, you're having to punt, giving teams additional possessions, your defense isn't rested and they suffer the consequences for it. And I don't care how good your defense is. If they're on the field for that much during a game and teams are out there driving 10, 12 plus play drives, and then you get the ball back and it's 3 and out, 4, 6 play drives, punt. You're not doing much to help them. So this is where I'm leaning with this. I feel like Kellen Moore is going to be Brandon Staley's saving grace this year. If the defense is just average, Kellen Moore and his offensive play calling is going to help tremendously, because the Chargers, as far as I'm concerned, are going to score more points. The more points you're putting on the board, the more of a catch-up or keep-up game the other team has to play. So they probably won't be as bad against the run, because teams are probably going to have to pass the ball more often. Just makes perfect sense to me. Now, the defense is still going to have to step up. They're going to have to make plays here and there, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see that, league's worst or near the bottom of the league against the run situation flip a little bit. And they fall more towards the middle of the pack, which is perfectly fine. At the end of the day, you just want to be able to pressure teams into doing things that they're not comfortable with. You want them to have to keep up with you and not be able to dictate. So, again, in the grand scheme of things, I honestly and truly feel like how this season goes and where Brandon Staley is come the end of it is really more so dependent on how well that Kellen Moore offense operates. And I think it's going to at a very high level. So you'll see some better defensive play just because of the talent there, but also because guys are going to be fresher. And they have some decent depth in certain areas, but some other spots that they need to improve upon are that. And I think they will before they head into camp. But overall, if you want to kind of get an idea of what type of year Brandon Staley's going to have as a head coach in 2023, pay very close attention to the way that the offense plays. Look at those points per game scored. And I think there's going to be a direct correlation there between his success on defense and how well the offense does. Just a thought. But that's it for me. Hope you guys were not too bored, because, again, like I said before, ain't a ton to talk about. But with that said, again, it's been your guy, Mr. TOP_FLYT3 over on Twitter, and of course, Mr. Ballganger Do Not Bang. You can catch me on the Lightning Round podcast as well, so give your boy a shout and come check me out over there as well. But until next time, y'all take it easy. I appreciate you, and until the next one, okay? Love you, bye.
Well, Craig, another fantastic insight into, there's not a lot to talk about this offseason, but I think all great points, especially with what the Chargers did, accomplish last season and what we can expect to look forward to with this next season. Again, Kellen Moore is just like the main card thing that we are all looking towards.
That was our big offseason acquisition. We didn't have the Khalil Max and the big name pickups this year. It was Kellen Moore was the big change.
Right. Yeah. So whether or not that ends up being enough to get us further or to cover some of the blemishes of what we had last year remains to be seen. As long as these guys can stay healthy, anything is possible.
Well, and I think with Staley too, we've had a bit of a turnover this season. There's a lot of guys that have been a staple of the Chargers for a while. Right. Drew Tranquil specifically, and some other guys.
But even the strength and conditioning.
He's making wholesale changes. So I think he came in, he had a top defense at the Rams when he was there. And so he's capable of doing it. But you're only as good as your players and only as good as the players that are available. So if we can stay healthy, they clearly brought in some more guys that he wants to, some war daddies that he wants to go to battle with.
Sure.
If we can keep the rushing against us, come on, get it down. Like, get it to that mid-range or a little lower.
Right.
I think if you do that, the offense is going to have the ball a lot more, and we're going to be scoring more touchdowns, and the defense is going to be fresh, kind of like what Craig said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Recently, a Dan Orlovsky clip was going around. He's kind of a Charger hater, it felt like.
All last year.
But all of a sudden, he comes out with this clip of him talking about how, everyone's sleeping on us this year, but last year we were Super Bowl favorites for some people. But you look at the injuries that we had last year, it's like your starting left tackle goes down. Your quarterback's dealing with a broken rib. cartilage.
Yeah.
You're dealing with your best pass rusher and Joey Bosa being out the majority of the season. JC Jackson, your big free agent acquisition, out the whole season. It's like these guys are all coming back. You could see them all as free agent acquisitions because we didn't have them at all last year.
That's
Wow,
a good way to
great
look at
point.
it.
Great point. Love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then the Staley, we're still Staley homers. We haven't given up on Coach Staley as the guy for the Chargers. We still believe in him. Yeah, he's got this is a big season for him.
Year
for
3
sure,
is
and he
big.
knows that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like you hire him as a first-time head coach ever at any level. You know there's going to be some growing pains. We've endured it. We felt it for sure. Now it's time to start getting some return on that investment and enduring that heartbreak. And now here's the season where got you guys back. Everyone seems to be pretty healthy. Even JC Jackson may be back for the start of the year. This is the year to do it.
Well, and what I like about Staley too is that he's gotten better each year. You look at some of these coaches that inherit a roster that's awesome, that are new coaches, and after a couple years of being the managers of it, those teams fall apart. And I feel like each year we're getting better. Like we're getting better. We almost made the playoffs his first year.
Sean McVay.
Yeah. Yeah. You honestly scared me with that. You kind of made me jump. And I totally forgot what I was thinking about. You scared the thought out of my head. I'm sure it was good. Maybe I'll think about it later.
It's a great thought.
I'm
It'll
sure
come back to you in the middle of the night.
Sure, it was awesome.
You scared the shit out of me with that. And maybe my headphones are up a little too high. I'm like, right. This is haunted house. It's haunted up here.
Okay. Stop coughing. All right. I'm
cool.
sorry. Craig, again, thank you for another awesome Craig experience. And it's time now, folks, to go on to Ask Boltfam. Let's see what questions y'all have brought to us this week.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
All right, gang. Time to start off Ask Boltfam with Swipe a Graphics.
Nice.
Who asked the question?
What's up, gents? Got a question about college. So I'm going to the University of Justin Herbert, a.k.a. Oregon, and would love to know, any advice? Can't love you, bye.
Well, if you listen to our new segment.
Did you pick Oregon because of Justin Herbert? Because if you did,
hope so.
Goat move.
Go,
total
man.
goat move.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Goat move.
Sorry, I interrupted you again.
I'm so like on edge. You're gonna jump out and scare me again. I'm like, what? Kyle's scary tonight. But if you listened to our last segment, I went to camp, so I don't know much about the college experience. There were no fraternities or sororities at any of the film
Greek
schools I went to, so I can't give you that. I will say, careful your freshman year, because you're going to get there, you're going to go off. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Have fun. Be careful. Don't lose sight of the prize.
Exactly. Yeah. When the bonds of parentals and having to be home at a certain time, curfew, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. When all of that goes away and you've got older students buying beer and everything like that, it can be a good time. Just pace yourself. Okay. Just know.
Pace yourself.
Yeah.
You got,
it's a long season.
You got school the next day.
Yeah.
But have a blast and send us some pictures. I would love to see if there's like some Justin Herbert
Ducks,
trickling still kind of hanging around the halls, or if there's
if you could
trophy or something.
If you have a Chargers jersey, just wear it to class first day of school.
Yeah,
dude, send us just videos of you doing that, and we'll dedicate a whole episode to you.
Go find a way to join what's high school?
The Justin
Sheldon?
Herbert fan club.
The Sheldon fishing.
the fishing club.
Yeah.
Just sneak in.
This 20-year-old just sneaking in for some fishing.
Yeah.
I
love it.
Awesome. Well, have fun, Swipe a Graphics, and thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to convictions.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question? Is Justin Herbert elite at fishing? Well, being that he was the presidente of said fishing club.
Is he not elite at anything that he does?
Golf elite, probably fishing elite.
Yeah.
Straight
you saw that Yeah, you saw that thing where they did like the quiz on the fishing channel.
Oh yeah, he was ready to answer.
And he was like pissed because they weren't asking him actual questions.
These are fake fish.
Yeah, like this
asshole.
is flounder from fucking Little Mermaid. Get out of here with this.
Pokemon.
This isn't elite questions. I'm here for elite questions.
Yeah, he's
elite.
So I'm gonna have to say yes there.
His middle name might be Elite.
It might be. We'll have to get back to you on that one. But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to James Ebo.
Nice.
Who asked the question.
Are you guys more focused on offense or defense this season?
I think the offense is going to be better no matter what. I'm focusing on the defense because the defense is the one that needs to improve the most, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just going to have a better offense in general. I think that's just at least the play calling. We have the guys capable of being a really good offense. The defense is like, how are you going to? It's a harder thing. I can't put my finger on. So
right.
My focus is on the defense this year. For
yeah.
sure.
Because you could say offense because you've got a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Your first round pick was a wide receiver, and your star left tackle who was dinged up last year is now coming back. And also your deep threat guy, Jalen Guyton, is coming back. So there's a lot of reasons and you've got Austin Eckler, who's now going to be focusing on incentives.
Trying to earn that money, yeah.
Exactly. So you've got all of that to focus on for the offense. And the defense really is just about like, yes, you're getting guys back, but they just got to be better.
We need them to be a better unit.
It's more important that our defense gets better, it feels like. But at the end of the day, when I show up to week 1 and we go watch them play the Dolphins, I'm more excited about watching the offense.
Sure.
Because we already know what we're getting out of this defense. It's
right.
There's no reason to expect it to change drastically. Like, they're going to run the same thing. They're going to force teams to run the ball with a light box. That's just his philosophy. So it's not going to change. So I'm more excited to watch the offense, but as far as like what needs to get better, it feels like the defense needs to get better.
Yeah,
totally.
Agreed. So there you go. James Ebo, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Rebolted 2006, who asked the question. This is regarding last week when you guys went after Kevin's negativity talking about Austin's incentives. It's not about Kevin. You guys can point the finger at him. You can talk about the trip to Europe. And if you do that, it's unfair. That's my future groomsman. That's my future bachelor party planner. And if you do that, it's unfair. It would be interesting to see if Eck holds the same view that he wants someone to step up and take snaps from him, you know, especially now that he has to prove to himself for another contract/incentives. As stated, a similar season from the 2022 can earn him the full $1.75 million and had 311 touches last year to Kelly's 83 touches and Spiller's 21 touches. So if he has a similar season, something didn't pan out well for Kelly or Spiller. Is it possible to be excited for a breakout season by Spiller or Kelly and still see Eck be dominant enough to get the full incentives? Could it potentially be a problem with Eck if one of those two becomes the hot hand? Big year for this room, considering only Spiller will be under contract next year. Everyone fighting for a job this year equals some temper flares potentially. You get what I'm putting down? So the next time you go after Kevin, I want you to remember something. Come after me. Say something about my perspective. I'm one internship and diehard Hispanic woman away from being a man. Come and duct tape a snorkel to my mouth, and you two be the other end of it, just shitting positivity all down that snorkel until I lose consciousness. I'm 30. I can take it. LOL. Okay, love you, bye.
That is the grossest visual. Shit positivity, just right down that thing.
I mean, if you're shitting positivity, right then it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be shit.
It'd be tasty. It'd be
yummy. Yeah. Like in the movie Trolls, they poop cupcakes.
That's a positive shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Well, I appreciate your support. See, this is he was able to lay out what I was trying to convey.
What you were trying to get at.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what he should be on this podcast and I should be listening is what I'm trying to say.
Well, what do you think? I mean, as far as the points that he's making, as far as, you know, this is a big year for Eckler and he's going to be competing against other running backs.
It's the same. That is the point that Kevin made, It's just the negative take. It's like it really is. It's like the Eckler's gonna do good, but if he does good, that means that these guys aren't doing good. So then I'm mad that they're not doing good. But if they're doing good, why can't Eckler's gonna be mad that they're doing good?
Why can't it be more positive and being like Spiller and Kelly are doing great?
That's not the way that either of you posed it. You posed it as you posed it as
May
if they
I
do
rephrase?
Great. You
because he even said like
great,
tempers
Eckler's
flaring.
not going to get his incentives, and then he's going to be mad. That's the way it's posed.
Right.
So
I think it's a good observation / question. Okay, I know it's not candy coated.
So then, what's your answer
for,
to that then?
I'm concerned about it a little bit because if good things happen for the other guys, not great things are happening for Eckler. And if we're well rounded, that's
good things are happening for the Chargers.
Yeah, as long as it's good for the team. But like you want all these guys to do well when they have touches. So I don't know. We'll leave it to Kellen Moore. Let him figure it out. I'm not thinking about it anymore.
If X being a little baby about his incentives, you don't think that's going to get around to all the other GMs in the NFL?
I will say that he has been training with Melvin Gordon, so he may be picking up some bad habits,
crybaby habits,
some bitchy habits.
It's contagious. Crybaby habits. There's a title for the episode.
Boy, I sure hope not. But
yeah,
that is
Eckler's too strong to become that.
Yeah, I really would like to think that, because of the continuously picking guys that are high character people, guys that don't let shit like that affect who they are and what they do. I'd like to think that this is just going to be an opportunity for everybody, a rising tide raising all boats situation, as opposed to
I love you,
I'm not getting my money because I'm not getting enough touches situation.
I can feel this in the room right now. I love your energy. You talked me down. I'm not even upset.
And I'm not even Brandon Staley. Imagine Brandon Staley being the one saying that.
Yeah.
Then I think, I don't know.
I don't know if he could do it as well, honestly.
He can do it pretty damn well.
Wooldog's pretty good at his job.
So, Rebolted 2006. We'll do our best not to talk too badly about Kevin in the future.
I'm happy to be your future groomsman. I am happy to be your future
When
groomsman.
Kevin gets negative, we just got to get him back in line. We just got to.
Kevin says something stupid.
That wasn't even that negative, you fucking goobers.
We just got to sheepdog you back in.
You're being such goobers right now. It wasn't even that negative.
Let's move it on now to Wade Mix, who asked the question. I asked ChatGPT to rephrase my question like Stephen A. Smith. Okay, love you, bye. All right, now let's get down to brass tacks here. We're talking about the Los Angeles Chargers and their $12.61 million cap space. Now I've got to ask you, what in the world should these Chargers be doing with that kind of money? Should they be scouting fresh talent, extending contracts for their tried and true stars, or perhaps keeping that cash in the back pocket for a rainy day? What's the game plan here? I want to hear your thoughts on this. All right now, much love, and I'm out.
That's what Stephen A. would sound like.
Per ChatGPT. That's what Stephen A. Smith would say.
This is creative. I like this. This is very creative.
It's a new and unique way. It's 2023, baby.
I want to see what Arnold in ChatGPT would do.
All right.
That's awesome.
12.6 million in cap space. I think we're kind of in the middle as far as the rest of the league, as far as the amount of cap space we have. So there's still money to be spent. And I mean, there's still question mark positions that at least us as fans feel like could use a little bit more depth. So
yeah, I honestly, like I've said it before, I think as soon as Justin's contract gets worked out, and it should be worked out here pretty damn soon, they'll know what to do. They're going to know what they have and what they're. Do
you think that's what's holding back the decision making?
I think a little bit. Yeah. I think they're not going to go after Floyd $9 million. Like that's just not going to happen for us.
Right. Unless you're signing a 1-year guy, you need to know what Justin's contract looks like, because you have to be able to like flesh out what it's going to look like down the road.
Sure.
There's not a whole lot of guys that want a 1-year deal. Like those are going to be that they're not going to be getting top end money. So any guy that you're looking to bring in on a couple-year deal, you need to know what Justin Herbert's contract looks like. So it sounds like, based on today's conversation, there was a little tweet that popped up that said Tommy T was saying that, or no, maybe it was Staley. It's like the negotiations are still ongoing. Like we're trying to figure it out right now.
Right.
So I do think that that's kind of for us is that one little block in the way.
Yeah. So, it would behoove the team to get a deal done sooner rather than later so that, yes, we can fill those necessary holes with what we then know what amount of money we have left over. But we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. So, Wade Mix, thank you for asking the question.
Great question.
Let's move it on now to Athir Kadir,
Athir,
who asked the question. OMG, Wooldog, my baby! So sad to not get my name called, but question time, baby! Most exciting training camp battles, Murray versus Hanley or QJ versus Palmer? Mine, wide receiver 3, baby! Let's ride Herbert, MVP, Bolt Super Bowl 57 champs, FTR, love you, my boys, answer please, baby!
Athir.
Yeah, Athir, I apologize. I do remember seeing your name last week, and I don't know how it didn't make the list. I take full responsibility for that, and God help me, and it'll never happen again.
Let's not ever do that again.
Okay, so most exciting training camp battles.
There's a lot. I mean, even the kicker battle is going to be pretty intense.
Yeah, I saw a thing about that now, that what we all thought was like a slam dunk, Dicker the kicker is the winner. All of a sudden, Hopkins is like, hey, he ain't done yet.
I did see it. I'm just saying, I'm going off social media because I'm very influenced by things on social media. Dicker the kicker was in a photo with Justin at the golf tournament. I feels like the starting kicker. Okay? Him and his awesome Arnold teeth and all.
I love it.
So I'm not worried about that.
Well, that wasn't the question from Athir. He's talking about Murray versus Deion Henley or Quentin Johnston versus Palmer.
I think Quentin Johnston is the guy. I don't.
Yeah, I can't imagine why you would spend a first-round pick on a guy that's not going to be.
I don't know how much of a battle that is. I think that's pretty much what they brought him in to do. Because you're not going to do, like you said, a first-round guy, and he's fourth.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's more like a 2B.
I don't think so.
More like a 2B than a third. But
yeah.
I'm interested in the linebackers. I think that's cool. Hanley, you look at those top picks. Thule's not going to be pushing anybody for a job. He's clearly a backup this year. He's a young guy.
Right.
I think Henley is the one that you look at. I think that'll be interesting with K9 because K9 he's not done all that well for us. He has moments, he has flashes, but overall he hasn't been the most consistent. So if we can improve there, that'll be huge.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah. I think there's a lot. I think the tight end position to me is exciting. It's not a lot of big name guys, but somebody's got to set themselves apart, and maybe that happens here in training camp in the preseason. Parham didn't really play that much last season, so like getting him in there with consistent snaps, seeing what he's able to do. Gerald Everett, again, like kind of a name under the radar. We haven't even really talked about or heard much about. Had a good season last year, but again, also kind of a receiver type of body. Do these other guys start to develop and turn into real tight ends in the NFL? I don't know. I don't think that the linebacker thing is a battle. I think Kenneth Murray is going to be your linebacker day one. That's a big jump from the guy's played like 4 different positions in college. You expect him to come in and be an NFL linebacker out the chute. I mean, we saw Kenneth Murray was a great college linebacker and has struggled. So I don't think there's much of a battle there at the linebacker position. I think the Palmer and Quentin Johnston thing is a 3A, 3B type of thing.
Right.
I think it's based on matchups and situations, who's going to be in there. I think the wide receiver position is just so fluid. If you want to say who gets more snaps, maybe you could say who the wide receiver 3 is, but I don't think it really matters who's on the field the first snap of the game. So I don't really care about the wide receiver 3 battle, because you could start out without a wide receiver. You could start out with 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers. I just don't think that matters all that much. But the running back position to me, Isaiah Spiller, coming off he's still a little kid, like he's 21. So it's like I think
he looks like a little baby with those cheeks. We saw him say a bad word too, and I was like, you should be saying that. You're too cute. You don't say that. Yeah, potty mouth. Yeah, soap.
I think that running back 2 position to me is exciting, along with the backup quarterback spot. Obviously Max Duggan, you draft him. Easton Stick is only 1-year deal. I think that'll be fun to see them battle it out, because They touch the ball every play. You know, like preseason, they get the ball every single play. These other positions that you're looking at battles, they don't. You know, like wide receiver 3, those guys probably aren't getting that many snaps in preseason. The running backs maybe a little bit here and there, but that quarterback touches the ball every single play. So I think it'll be fun to watch too. There's a lot going on.
You basically named every position.
I was going to say we named every position except the ones that Fear asked about.
Both of you. Yeah. I don't think that the linebacker or the wide receiver 3 battle. I don't care about those. Sorry,
Athir.
Sorry, Athir.
But hey, great question, Athir. We appreciate it, and thank you for asking it. Let's move it on now to Bolted True in Powder Blue.
Certified Fresh.
That's a great name. Who asked the question? Hey, Bolt brothers, it's official. I'm going to my first ever Chargers home game. I've been a fan for over 20 years. I'll be there to see the Bolts squash the Raiders. My question for you is, what are some cool sights and sounds to catch around the stadium, and how early should I arrive for that Southern Cali Thunder Alley? Thanks, Charger Chat. Go Bolt City diehards. My wife's a Raiders fan, and I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut at the away games. Ha 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 ha. FTR.
Whoa.
Dude, I can't even imagine a significant other being a Raider fan.
You're a better man than I don't think I could.
Yeah, boy.
Dude,
there must be some other redeeming qualities.
That's a dating deal breaker for sure.
100%. I don't even I would never go on a first date. It's done. Game over.
So you're a better man than us for sure. And congrats on going to your first home game. I'm so happy for you, man. That's awesome. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's such an experience, dude, especially SoFi. It's like you see it on TV, it looks cool. But you walk in there, it's a spaceship, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so freaking
in the middle of nowhere that it shouldn't exist.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be there. It literally like a spaceship just came and landed right in the middle of Inglewood.
They had no idea where they were landing.
No.
Yeah.
Called it good.
So I would get there early.
Get there as soon as you can. As soon as parking lot's open. If this is your first time going in 20 years and it doesn't sound like it's a every year thing, get there as soon as it opens, because that's one of the funner parts. Obviously, watching the football is fun, but being in Thunder Alley with other Charger fans, you don't get that. You walk in the stadium, you don't know who you're sitting next to.
Exactly.
So that's the fun, like, camaraderie part of the day.
And then definitely like go to the big team store. I would check it out before the game because the end of the game it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
But I would definitely Thunder Alley, and it's the Raider game, so there's gonna be a lot of people there. It's gonna be pretty crazy. So yeah, those are the two big ones.
Yeah, Thunder Alley. It's in the pink parking lot, by the way. If you don't know that, go to the pink parking lot. That's where Thunder Alley is, and truly, you could spend hours in Thunder Alley and still not visit every single booth and tent that's there.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't be shy. Like, just go up and start talking to people. There's a lot of people that just kind of walk through and they're intimidated, but everyone in Thunder Alley is so cool.
God bless them, even to opposing team fans.
I don't know how the Raiders games go, but I know other teams are pretty cool.
We've been there for Raiders
I'm
games.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. So just like a lot of side eyes from me. I was pretty on.
Yeah. So you can bring your wife. They'll razz her, but it will. It'll still be a good time. Yeah. No, they're not gonna. No shanking or battery throwing will occur at Thunder Alley.
Yeah.
So and most importantly, just have a blast. Yeah. You scope everything out. I can't remember. They got like food trucks there, or
they got hot dog stands, which are
the hot dog stands
on the
after the
out,
game. Yes.
On the way out, the hot dog stands. Definitely grab one of those because those are nom.
Yes. So.
So good.
Have a great time, Bolted True and Powder Blue, and thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daryl Sandlin 21, who asked the question.
Oh, hey guys, what a week! Was such an awesome experience having met Kevin and being able to join Fan Focus. I've been able to turn more Bolts friends onto your show. Although I was as nervous as a tick stuck in shit, Kevin was so easy to chat with and made me feel comfortable and welcomed, even though I wish I had kept my dumbass on down during the interview. Hoo-ha! Anyhow, thank you again, Wooldog, Kevin, and Kyle, for all of your hard work and for allowing us to be invited to a party. Because that's what the show is, a party for all to enjoy. Now, my question this week is for Kyle, the coach. What offensive formations are you looking forward to the most this season compared to the last two? I'm calling for it right now. First play of the Miami opener. Herbert fires deep right off the bat. Remember, Mike can go deep. Q can go deep. We're probably going deep. Thanks, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.
You're the man, Daryl. You're the man.
Good. Yes.
It was so awesome meeting you, man. That's what it's all about, dude. That's why we started this.
It is a party. This podcast is just a party.
Want to meet Charger
a
fans,
weekly
hang
party.
out.
We started this when we were getting laughed at for having no fans and being silly little goofballs at a soccer stadium.
Right.
And we started it because we're like, well, screw this. Like, what can we do to help bring the fandom together?
Right.
So that's awesome to hear, dude.
That's what it's all about, brother. Thank you.
Big time. All right. So, Kyle, the question's for you. What offensive formations are you looking forward to the most this season?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to run it. I really don't. This is just a selfish, like personal desire would like to see. I think we put ourselves at a disadvantage when we bring the tight end into the formation. So when you have an attached tight end, meaning they're like right next to the tackle, hand in the ground, I don't think we have any tight end that gives us an advantage in that situation. No one's a good enough blocker that when you bring in a body, whatever they bring in to match that, it's going to be better than what we have. I would love to see some 10 personnel. I don't, or 20 personnel even. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know what Kellen Moore's stance is on any of that. He didn't run it in Dallas because they had a great tight end. They ran a lot of 11 and 12 sets because they had good tight ends. But you could call him a tight end. I guess it could be a quote unquote 11 personnel, meaning one running back, one tight end, but just detach him. Like, just don't have him online. Put him in the slot. You put Gerald Everett in the, like, just go with me.
I'm here.
I'm on the train, baby. Let's go.
Quentin Johnston on one edge, Mike Williams on the other edge. So those are your X and Z. Okay. And then you have your Y tight end would be Gerald Everett. And on the other side in the slot, you have Keenan Allen, right? Like, those are your 4 wide receivers. What that does is it just opens up the box where our 5 really good offensive linemen can go against their 6-man box. If they keep 6 against that, they're deep shit anyways. If they go to a 5-man box, you have our really good 5 offensive linemen against their 4 defensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linemen. Just the matchups to me make a lot more sense in that scenario. We don't have a dominant tight end. We don't have a guy that can block and run and catch the ball. So don't waste your time. So just keep the box light, allow us to throw the ball, and let Eck run the ball, like with a lighter box with less people in there. He can get 4 or 5 yards quick and easy. So if I just want to see it. I don't know if it'll work. I can't guarantee it'll work, but if I could see some 10 personnel, meaning no tight ends attached, I think it's a little bit high school football, but I think it would work with the personnel that we have.
It's my so favorite crazy number. It just might work.
Yeah. 10 is my favorite number.
Yeah. Give 10 personnel for Justin. Come on.
10 for 10.
All right. Well, Kevin, if you were the coach, what play would you?
I don't know. I'm so fired up right now with this 10 personnel. I don't even know. I can't even think of anything.
Think about those 4 studs out there. Like, what do you do? Or you go 3 by 1. You could still leave Mike alone. On the other side, you have Keenan, Gerald Everett, and Quentin Johnston all together on one side, and then Mike's all by himself. I don't know. It's just be more creative. Have a little fun.
Hear me out.
Chances.
30 personnel. Horvath, Spiller, and Eckler. Same backfield. Let's get some shit done.
Triangle.
High school. Football. Let's go.
There we go. It sounds
triple
like
option.
Triple option. Yeah.
Veer. I want to see the veer offense right now.
The NFL. Let's go.
Veer. Toss it in there.
Let's go.
I was just trying to give Kevin an opportunity to be the football
You just got
coach.
my personnel. Let's go.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about, kind of.
RBI ran wing T when Kev was there, so that's all he wants.
Absolutely.
Bring back the T.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. Daryl Sandlin, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Serpatron1.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question.
Titans fan here. Round 2 at Nashville. Is anyone else going?
Boo.
No.
Just kidding. I keyed.
But no, we're not.
No, not going to that game at all.
That would be. I feel like that's like a sleeper, fun place to go to, though. Like Nashville,
Nashville,
city.
Yeah,
You know,
I worked in there not that long ago. It is a really, really fun downtown cool city.
Doesn't feel like as hostile of an environment, seeing as we don't play each other all the time.
Yeah.
That could be a fun away game.
Yeah.
It's always a fun game between us and the Titans, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to go just to see Dan Vrabel spread his legs again with his pants as tight as they possibly could and just pray to God that like one seam busts and he drops a couple balls. But Serpatron 1, thank you for asking the question.
Have fun, dude.
Have fun. Yeah,
it.
have a blast. Let's move it on to Mr. Pekar, who asked the question.
After watching so much film this weekend, I got really, really excited about Derwin James working with our premier edge rushers. Could you imagine Derwin off the edge with strip sack return for a TD? Or even better, several times. That's just like an ice cream cone's chocolate syrup sauce dripping onto my fingers on a hot day. And you know what that means? Extra licks for kicks and oh, so delicious. What is your bold prediction of how many sacks, fumbles, and picks Derwin James will create this year, and how many will be returned for TDs? Family, trust, respect. Bolt the up, K. Love your boy.
I love the energy, Mr. Pekar.
Woo!
You're the man.
Extra licks for kicks.
I want some ice cream right
I
now.
want ice cream.
Sounds good.
I'm hungry.
All right, so bold predictions for how many sacks, fumbles, and picks Derwin James will create this year, and how many will be returned for TDs.
I got 4, 5, 6.
Okay, in that order. 4 sacks, 5 fumbles, 6 picks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And 2 of those go back for touchdowns. 4, 5, 6, 2.
4, 5, 6, 2.
That's a big year. That's Pro Bowl year. That's one of the best years the safety can have.
I can ask for. Yeah.
So I want him to just excel. I don't want to see him back in the very deep bed of the backfield, not in the plays at all. I love that he's working pass rushing moves with Joey.
I know,
and
that
Quill.
was so
That
cool.
wasn't that a cool video saying like getting him tips from like holy
like
shit.
talking to each other, being like, no, you got to do it like this, and they're like, okay, and then he goes and does it.
And he does it perfectly. Yeah. I just want him to succeed. He's just such a stud, and yeah, he's gonna have a great year this year.
Any differing opinion there, Kyle? 4, 5, 6, or 2?
4, 5, 6 sounds cool. It's catchy. It's easy to remember. I like it. And I think it's all going to be dependent on who those other safeties are. If we have the safety group that we have now, those numbers are not going to be 4, 5, 6. It's just not going to happen because you're going to avoid Derwin. He's not going to come down in the box. You only have that flexibility when you have 2 studs that you can put up top and allow him to come down in the box. Like we saw last year, that wasn't an option with injuries and stuff going on. So he was forced to stay up 10 to 12 yards off the ball and be a high safety. So if we can stay healthy, I think those numbers could be fun. But we got to go pick someone up in free agency. I think that's inevitable that we're going to go get a safety here pretty quick.
Johnson.
Yeah, because we saw that week 1. We saw it live in person week 1.
Yeah.
And the excitement of like, oh my God, this is just week 1. Who knows how many times it could happen the rest of the season?
You got a sack.
And then, the injuries happen and the rest is history. So yeah, if we can stay healthy, I would love to see Derwin just kind of find a way to sneak in there without anybody else noticing and then surprise and take him down. So
come on. I just want a stud safety. I want Johnson. I really do.
I want
Johnson. We wanted him. We wanted him so bad 2 years ago.
We did.
It would be some sweet redemption to get him back this year on a one. Because last year he had kind of a down year with Cleveland. They cut him.
Right.
It'd be nice to get him on a 1 year short deal, let him prove himself, come out with some fire in his belly because he's got to earn another contract.
Yeah.
Him and Derwin back there, just bad baby.
Bad baby.
Oh,
All right.
Miami Dolphins. Oh, we got wide receivers.
Okay. All right. Well, we still got our safety that shut your wide receiver down last season. So.
Here's the deal. Zont might be your slot guy. If you have JC and Mike Davis on the edges, you could put Zont in that slot. He can be that small body, quick twitch, run with anybody in the slot. And then you could put those 2 guys over the top. I mean, please just get one more stud. One safety, I think, completes this defense.
I support it 100%. Mr. Pekar, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cable, who asked the question. What's an early realistic record you have for this team?
Who wants to say it?
17. No!
Come on, baby. Yeah, we're not about realistic records here.
What's not realistic about 17-0 right now? You look at the schedule. Who's going to be?
It's happened once before. There's precedent.
Yeah,
it's been done.
It's realistic that could
regular
happen.
season. It's happened twice. Dolphins did it. Pats did it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
We could do it.
Why not us? This is our time down here.
Our time down here.
I still don't understand looking at a schedule and saying, "Yeah, that's a loss."
Yeah,
like that's just with the guys that we have on our team. I can't predict a loss. Could we lose? Yeah, but
you could say. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I want to hear what you have to say.
I was going to say you could look at a game and go like, "Yeah, that's going to be tough." We could lose that game,
right?
But am I going to predict that we're going to lose that game? No. Just predicting that a game is going to be a loss just because it's borderline impossible for a team to go 17-0 doesn't mean that I'm not going to predict 17-0. Like
right now, I'm seeing a fully healthy squad. We could beat every single team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now.
I got a fun out. It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
17-0 ceiling, 14-3 floor.
Kevin.
Hey,
stop.
I said 17-0 ceiling.
Okay, so now let's go back to my scenario. Pick the three teams. Who are we losing to?
One of the Chiefs.
Why?
Nah, I don't like it. 17-0. I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like talking
the way that tastes.
I don't like this dirty shit talk I'm giving you guys. I don't like it at all.
Picking a loss for the Chargers feels like talking shit against our own team.
We're 100 days away. Why would I say we're going to lose to any of these teams?
Right.
Yeah, it's like I don't go say it's week 14 and we're playing whoever. I'm not like, oh, we're going to lose this game.
Yeah, we're screwed.
So like, why would I do that now? I think we're going to win every game, and I get heartbroken and disappointed when we lose. So clearly, I think we're going to win every game.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to remind everyone, we're not journalists. We didn't go to school for this. We're just fans who are ridiculous sometimes. And that's how I like it.
Right. It's not about being right.
No.
It's about being shamelessly positive.
Yeah.
But guess what? One of these years,
it could be right.
It's going to happen again.
It's going to happen.
And then we'll come back to this moment and be like,
dummy?
Told you. Who's right now?
Not us, baby.
Yeah. You guys guessed 17-0 for the last 45 years. But we're right next time.
It was bound to happen. Oh, I'm so glad to be alive to see it.
All right. Cable, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Hurt JD.
Hold on. I need a moment. Hurt JD is not certified fresh. I don't recognize the name. I went back into our file. Last time Hurt JD asked a question. Episode 76.
Oh, wow.
In 2021. Welcome back, Hurt JD.
200
almost 200 episodes ago.
Wow.
Welcome back. Nothing's changed. We're still ridiculous. Thanks for coming back.
Holy
smokes.
Yeah, got to shout him out.
All right. Well, he's got a question, and it goes like this. What would it take for the Chargers to win the division for the first time in over a decade?
This stupid, easy answer is health.
Health. Yeah, that's it. That's the
we can
first
get lucky.
thing that came to my mind.
We get lucky. We don't run into any of these catastrophic injuries.
Right.
Who knows what could happen? This could be that 17-0 team.
This thought just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Imagine if Patrick Mahomes got the rib injury that Justin just endured for a season.
Yeah. You can't limp around.
Imagine that prima donna. He'd be out 6 to 8 weeks.
No, yeah, easy.
He'd be IL.
For sure.
He'd be donezo. Later, Pat. That's what would happen.
Crickety.
That's all it takes.
Pippity pat on the ribs. Pippity pat.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, health is such a big deal.
It is.
You have Patrick Mahomes get that kind of rib injury. They're not having the season they had last year.
Or have his star left tackle go down, or have one of his star edge defenders go down, or there's
cornerback,
his deep wide receiver threat go down, or any of his wide receivers.
We went into Dicker the kicker, which was rad, but that happened too.
At one point, we had 3 of our top wide receivers down.
Yeah.
Our kicker got hurt. That's right.
And our kicker got hurt.
Hopkins, he got hurt.
Yeah. He went off, he got carried off the field.
Right. He practically threw his leg to win the game.
The only reason we met Dicker the kicker is because Hopkins was throwing his leg like a mannequin at the football at the Denver game.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think health. Yeah, it's a cop-out answer, but I think it's the right answer. I mean, you could talk about strategy or coaching and stuff like that, but if you don't have a team that's as the team that you expected to be playing, after week 1 throughout the entire season, I mean, you got to make adjustments. And we thought last year that they were making some adjustments and doing the best they can with what they got. And guess what? It got us into the playoffs.
We got the playoffs, and we had a gigantic lead at halftime.
Yeah. So,
and I think the root is that. The root is health. I think number 2, it's defense. If the defense is better, we know this offense is going to be good enough to put up
20, even the offense is
25 points a game. If our defense is better and we're putting up what Justin does with broken cartilage in his rib, without wide receivers, we're going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah. It's exciting to think about there, Hurt JD, but thank you.
Welcome. Season's back. Too far away.
Yeah. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Zachary Shelton, who asked the question.
I really enjoy listening to your show every week. What is your bold prediction for this team this season? Sports Illustrated thinks that neither Keenan or Mike will lead the team in receiving, and that Herbert will have a career year in terms of fewest interception.
Bold prediction time. I haven't done this in a minute.
Mid-off-season bold prediction.
Huh.
So I think that's interesting. The Sports Illustrated, I think neither Keenan or Mike will lead the team in receiving.
So who would then? And that could be a bold prediction in its own. Like, if it's not one of those two, who's your guy leading the team in receiving yards?
Well, it can't be anybody but Quentin Johnston, right?
I got rookie,
or
man.
Jalen Hurts. I mean, not Jalen Hurts.
Guyton.
Jalen Guyton. Yeah.
Well, Guyton's never had more than like 600 yards in a season, so I don't see him.
I know. Quentin Johnston's had 0.
I know, but Quentin Johnston is immediately ahead of him in the depth. It's just absolutely ahead of him.
Josh Palmer?
Nah,
I think it's Quentin.
I'm waiting for Josh Palmer to have a breakout season. I would be shocked if he led. I mean, the only way that it's not Quentin Johnston leading the team in receiving means that Keenan or Mike had to get hurt again.
If he's leading the team in receiving yards, there's a good chance we got an offensive rookie of the year on our hands.
That's true.
So for sure. Yeah,
that's true.
Wouldn't that be a fun, bold prediction? Offensive rookie of the year?
Ooh.
Quentin Johnston?
Ooh.
I kind of get behind that.
You want to hear my bold prediction?
I have another one, but you do yours.
Justin Herbert, MVP of the league.
The crowd goes wild.
I like it. All right, MVP, offensive rookie of the year, and then
coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Staley gets coach of the year. Bosa and Mack combined for 25 sacks.
What's the man of the year award? The Walter Payton.
Walter Payton goes to Khalil Mack.
Keenan Allen comeback player of the year.
Most fantasy points by a running back. Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
What else?
Eckler makes a Pro Bowl.
Eckler finally makes the Pro Bowl.
We're gonna win a Super Bowl.
Take all these to the bank. If these all land, we're go buy a lottery ticket.
Dude,
we're going to the
parlay all of those into one bet.
If that happens, dude, I would definitely put $10 on that. That could be like $1 million.
Yeah.
Who's taking that bet, Vegas? Let us know.
All right. Well, there's a few there, Zach.
Brings us to our sponsor, Finn. I'm just kidding.
Zachary Shelton, thank you for asking the question, bud. Let's move it on now to Tom Telesco's burner account,
TTBA,
who asked the question. I need a top 10 defense this year from Coach Staley. Love how he is making the team do gassers as a unit. I see a motivated Staley this year. We know he can be our players' best friend. Now I need a Staley ready to kick some ass. I'd like him to rely on our secondary more. With a healthy JC, Avato, and ASJ, I expect more man coverage. The thing I can't stand about Staley is his commitment to light boxes and continually giving up the short passes and 5-yard runs. How many 10-minute, 80-yard drives did we see last year? That shit it killed me. I'd like Staley to figure out how to control the game more by establishing the run on both sides of the ball and truly be a line of scrimmage team like he talks about. Because if we do that, I feel like we will win the Super Bowl. With Moore as our OC and healthy Super Bowl roster, the time is now. Salary cap wise, we need to get this done. Plus, Kellen Moore could easily leave next year for a head coaching job. My question is, do you think we will be a top 10 defense? And what ranked passing and rushing do you predict? Okay, almost done. One other thing. Also, I'd like Tom T to work the phone mid-season. And I'm out. Tom T's a burner. Yeah. I love you guys. Peace out. Fuckers.
I like it. He's got a plan, man.
Yeah.
TTBA has
He's got a lot to talk about, to get off his chest. All right. Well, top 10 defense. I mean, going from, like Craig pointed out, like there's some bottom of the barrel like stats that were on that defensive side of the ball. Is it possible to get up to be a top 10 defense with, the acquisitions we made, the players that we've let go this offseason? Like,
I don't see why not, man.
Yeah,
I don't.
Do you think we just barely get into that top 10, or are we like
I think
top
it's
5?
I think it's safe to say you're top 10. If you're a top 10 defense and we have the offense, what we think we have, it's going to be not a problem.
Right.
But it's hard to say. I want to see these guys all together playing, because even when we played the Raiders a little bit, to be honest, like that first game, they were still kind of moving the ball on us,
right?
And we're still trying to figure out this defense and all that. So all these guys understanding the scheme, I don't know if Staley changes up some stuff or what he's going to do, but we got to figure that out.
Right. What do you think, Kev?
I don't know, man. Asked me 2 years ago when Staley got here, I think slam dunk no matter what, right? He was the number 1 ranked defense with the Rams, and watching the tape, it was like, holy crap, they just shut people down. They don't let people score.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just doesn't feel like it's clicked like that yet for the Chargers. When he did that in 1 year with the Rams, it wasn't as if his system was so complicated that they couldn't pick it up, which is the out that we're giving them, it feels like, every year. So I don't see why not. I want to see it. If you put a gun in my head and said, will they be a top 10 defense? My answer would be no. Because they haven't done it. It hasn't even been really that close in the 2 years that we've watched. But when you look at paper with the players that we have, with the coach and his track record of being on great defenses, being in the Vic Fangio tree, it looks like it should be a top 10 defense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope. That's what we want.
It's always
what we
the
need.
hope. And you just got to have hope and faith sometimes. So Tom Telesco's burner account, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Connor Credenza Brumfelt.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question? I'm going to make you a question you can't refuse, see? Besides our top 3 wide receivers, Eckler and Everett, who of the remaining offense would you say is more likely to end up with 5 or more touchdowns this season? Hey, FDR over here. Hey, capiche?
I'll go first.
Good question.
All right.
I'll go first. I want to get this out of the way because I think it's the guy. It's Darnold Parham. I think red zone Parham's going to be just a vulture of picking up touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Just so big. Like, you put Quentin, Mike, and Parham on the field. You got 3 guys over 6'5" out there, or 6'4", whatever, how gigantically tall they are.
However tall these guys are.
I just feel like he has to score 5 touchdowns this year. Just even if those are only 5 catches of the season, I feel like the primary usage of him will be red zone. So I think Parham will get over 5.
Nice. I like that.
I think whoever is not the third wide receiver gets it. So whoever you put in that third spot, if it's Palmer or if it's Johnston, whoever is not that is getting that. It'll be I think our wide receivers are just going to go off this year.
Sure.
I really do. So I think it'll be either
But it's going to be
Palmer
spread out, evenly spread out.
Quentin Johnston or Palmer, since that's the
Guyton.
criteria for this question, will be 5.
I'm going to say Guyton. I think, the opportunity to throw downfield more, as we've been talking about, Keenan Allen saying it, Kellen Moore's primed to do it, to be throwing it downfield. Coming off of an injury, Jalen Guyton could be that guy. I mean, he was always the deep threat. Didn't see a ton of, attempts made his way every game, but when he did, I mean, those are highlight reel catches that this guy's made. Sure. He's probably like the top 2 or 3 catches that Justin Herbert's ever made.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Jalen Guyton. I think if you've got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston, all over the place, I think Jalen Guyton is going to be the guy that's probably going to have the weakest coverage. and the biggest opportunity to make a big play in a deep toss and get a touchdown. Get 5 of them.
I think we're gonna have a weird season where we're gonna have like 4 wide receivers that have like 750 yards and like a whole bunch of touchdowns.
Nobody had 1,000.
No one at 1,000, but everyone's got a shit ton.
Well, that's what it was last year. I think we had, I want to say 4 or 5 guys that had like 800 yards apiece.
Yeah, like DeAndre Carter had a ton of yards.
Yeah, Carter and Everett and Palmer and
more fun actually. What if we did go back to the previous question? 2,000-yard receivers
as a bold prediction.
Yeah. Oh, plus some more behind that are really close to 1,000.
There we go. The parlay gets bigger.
Well, that's how you get to 6,000 because that's what you called earlier.
That's how you go from 1 million to 2 million.
That's how we get 6,050 touchdowns.
All right. Well, Connor, thank you for asking the question.
Thanks, man.
And we go out of Ask Boltfam with XX Kevon, who asked the question. Ooh, it's me. Good news. I'm going to be a part of the Die Hard Bowl Club South LA. Yay. Okay, let's get straight to it. If you can take one good trait from each other, what would it be?
Welcome to the Die Hard Bolt Club.
Cheers, buddy. Yes, welcome.
Happy for you, man. That's awesome. They're a great chapter, too.
Oh, great chapter.
A lot of great people over there. So you're going to have a blast.
Big old blast. So, one good trait from each other. Who starts?
First, I got to think of Kevin's good trait.
Yeah, I'm struggling with Kyle's. I'm not sure what to put down.
Let me brainstorm here for a
So,
second.
okay, I'll start it then, just so I can keep the less dead air.
You can cut it out.
I will say, from Kevin, I would take his work ethic. I love Kevin's work ethic. I think it's really admirable and one that I don't possess. I would love to have Kevin's work ethic, and I would love to have Kyle's dry sense of humor. The times that Kyle has made me laugh on this show, I mean, like, just to the point that like my head hurts, I'm crying, my stomach hurts. It really is fascinating to me how he can be so funny and so off the cuff funny.
It comes out
like if I'm trying to be funny, I'm thinking about it ahead of time. I'm locking my answer in and I'm getting it out.
He's a natural.
Kyle it just falls out of him so effortlessly. It really is admirable. So if I could add that to my my belt of things, I think I'd be an awesome dude.
Yeah. I'll go. I think, because my dad doesn't love me as much as Kyle, apparently, I'd like to have his coaching knowledge. I'd like to have more of that.
That'll get you higher up in the rankings.
Yeah, I'm trying to climb the rankings. And this sounds stupid. It really does. But Adam may be the fastest typer I've ever seen. So I would not mind his typing skills, because literally he was looking
Super
at me.
heartfelt.
Literally, I was like, he was like clicking so fucking fast. He was sitting next to me working. I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Slapping on the keyboard.
And then slapping the keys.
So imagine you're sitting, you're the camera, you're me. He just looks over, he's typing, and he looks over and he keeps typing. He's just typing. He types like for another like 2 minutes, just looking at me like this. And I'm like, that's impressive. Among other things, kindness and being one of my best friends in the entire world. I take the typing.
I'm surprised you didn't say beard, but that's okay. It wasn't. You're still on the board.
I'm on the board.
All right.
Show me beard.
Show me beard. Show me typing skills.
Show me typing skills.
All right, Kyle, take us home, buddy.
All right, I'll finish it off. All right, for Kevin. Kevin is one of the most passionate people that I know, no matter what it is, whether it's film, who goes to film school? Like, I feel like he's so passionate. He's like, I'm going to camp for 4 years because I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about the Chargers that even if I move to Kansas City, I'm just going to send my kid to school so that he's just different than
by everyone.
Yeah. So Kevin's passion for stuff, for sure, and like lack of quit. No matter what, if all the chips are against him, he's not going to quit. he will stick it out.
You will lose at golf one of these days, dude. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna. But you're not gonna quit.
As long as it's always top golf, Kevin will find a way to get some points.
Not quitting.
And then Adam, it's just like Kevin said it there at the end. It's like his kindness and thoughtfulness. It feels like every time we're about to do something, or like he's like, I don't know if we should. I don't know, guys. Like, are you sure? Like, is that okay? He's just so thoughtful about everybody else and everything that we're doing. Even with me and Kevin, he's always sacrificing for us for the show. It's like me and Kevin have so many things going on, and Adam's never. He's like, I'll be there. Whatever you guys need, whenever we're gonna do it, I'll show up. I'll be there.
Lean on me.
Yeah.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend.
Yeah, that's Adam.
The Wooldog. Sorry. You're welcome.
Kyle. That's my special boy.
Well,
all right.
What a great way to go out.
That was fun. You getting
good. I'm going to bed.
Awesome affirmations all around.
Let's
Hey,
go.
I love you guys.
I love you too, buddy.
All right. Well, XX Kevon, thank you for asking the question, and thank you everybody for asking the questions in Ask Boltfam. We love it so much. But that is going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
That was a fun episode. I don't know. We got to do more of those fun ones.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, stick around, folks, for some more fun episodes. But until then, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Padres won tonight.
Hey, kid, love you. Bye. Let's go, Padres.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Are you trying to lose weight? Trying to get that six-pack of abs before the summer? Well, now there's a new way. Introducing Wooldog's Abs-ercise, the newest way to get that toned tummy. But don't take it from us. Ask one of our newest members.
I'm not going to have no sit-ups for like 2 weeks. It is where I am. I'm poured up.
So check out Wooldog's Abs-ercise and get the physique you've always wanted. Call now.